Professor Alex Kinner shows his kids the moon as a meteor shower is about to start. People worldwide are gathering outside to watch. Suddenly, the first glowing meteor streaks across the sky. People gather around telescopes, journalists report the event, and scientists at the New Mexico Space Observatory keep a close eye on it. They spot 5 large meteors in the shower. One meteor, much larger than the rest, grabs everyone's attention. If it were to hit Earth, it would cause something like what happened 50 million years ago in Berlin. Meanwhile, a couple, Roland Emerson, a scientist, and Martina, are watching the meteor shower. Roland is deeply interested, while Martina is more focused on their wedding plans. Suddenly, Dr. Maddie Rhodes spots a massive meteor, twice the size of the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, heading straight for the moon. It crashes into the moon, scattering debris into space at incredible speed. This debris will reach Earth in less than an hour. The country's leaders become concerned. Maddie explains that the telescope couldn't see the meteor due to the dense cloud of small stones in the meteor shower. If the meteorite fragments hit a large city, it will cause a disaster. Authorities urge people to stay indoors. Soon the first fragments begin to fall, causing destruction and casualties. Fires break out, a large piece breaks off from the moon and heads towards Earth. Scientists scramble to predict its impact location. The US president is briefed on the situation. The meteorite falls off the coast of Australia, triggering a massive wave. Medics inform the president that the moon's collision has altered its trajectory, bringing it closer to Earth, an unusual event. However, gravity stabilizes the orbit. Professor Alex Kinner, knowledgeable about gravity, assures there's no risk of a meteorite destroying Earth. He recognizes Maddie Rhodes on screen, revealing their past connection. Tourists discover a huge crater in the forest and global tidal patterns change. Maddie invites Alex to the observatory, but he can't leave his children after his wife's recent passing. Suddenly, cell phone signals vanish and electric discharges start hitting around a baseball field. Gas stations and cities start exploding, with witnesses reporting strange electric phenomena. Scientists are baffled by these events. Roland is brought to the crater the children discovered, where a spherical fragment is embedded in molten rock. Despite meteorites not being magnetic, a geological hammer is strangely drawn to it. Maddie and Alex search for answers about the moon's odd behavior and the Earth's increased electromagnetic field. Roland suggests that the meteorite resembles a brown dwarf, the remains of a dead star. It's likely that after the collision of 2 stars, debris scattered across the universe, with one fragment hitting Earth and another striking the moon, turning it into a giant magnet. Now, Earth and the moon may start moving closer to each other. Maggie informs the president about the changes in the moon's orbit caused by the brown dwarf, leading to the assignment of assembling a team of specialists. Alex and Maddie discuss the need for a new laboratory with connections to major space centers and introduce a team of top scientists. The moon's mass is changing significantly, its orbital speed is increasing, and its orbit is altering, bringing it closer to Earth. In approximately 48 hours, all electrical systems will be disabled. Later, Alex and Maddie dine at a restaurant discussing scientific peculiarities when suddenly the lamp explodes. Another electromagnetic wave sweeps across the world, much stronger and more dangerous than before. Something extraordinary is happening on the streets. People and objects suddenly start floating upward, as if they've lost their weight. The center receives photos from around the world showing objects, people, machinery, and even airplanes levitating. Alex believes they've witnessed gravity deviations previously thought impossible. The fundamental law of gravity, where smaller objects are attracted to larger ones, seems altered. Lightning strikes lasting from 5 minutes to 5 hours become frequent. As the moon approaches its closest point to Earth, the electromagnetic storm is expected to subside, but people brace for an even stronger wave. Preparations are underway to clear planes from runways, halt traffic, and seek shelter indoors. Some military officials doubt the scientists' competence and discuss alternative solutions. TV broadcasts instruct people to secure loose items, turn off electricity, and seek basement shelter if possible. Electrical systems fail again, causing people and vehicles to float before crashing down. Satellites malfunction and wired communication is lost. TV shows the first images of the European disaster site. The distressing and terrifying destruction videos are spreading, instilling fear as America braces for impact. With little left to do, people turn to faith in God. The European Space Agency makes contact, revealing that the moon's orbit has further narrowed, indicating a more severe collision with Earth. Panic intensifies, signaling that this is just the beginning. Roland is unable to reach Marty, who is unconscious in a crashed train. The moon looms closer than ever, casting a silent shadow of impending disaster over the world. Maddie delivers the grim news to the president. The moon will collide with Earth in 39 days, potentially obliterating the planet. As people in the train regain consciousness, they help each other and escape from burning wreckage. 20% of the country is without power, relying on backup generators. The situation is dire in Europe, where electromagnetic waves grow stronger. Logan decides to defy government warnings and personally escorts the children to Alex's location. As the next wave hits, a powerful force lifts a massive ship into the air, causing it to disintegrate. Cars hover and then plummet from the sky, resulting in numerous injuries. Rescue efforts are underway, but resources are severely lacking. The president declares the closure of airports and train stations, along with imposing a strict curfew to deter looting. Maddie suggests altering the asteroid's trajectory through nuclear explosions. If done correctly, the moon could be redirected toward the sun, gaining acceleration from the brown dwarf. This plan requires 1,100 warheads, each with a 20 megaton capacity, to generate the necessary force. However, acquiring such rockets with the required technology poses a challenge. Sharing these developments globally is proposed, but the military opposes, favoring a simpler plan: bombarding the moon with regular rockets, causing debris to fall on Earth without destroying it. Maddie is certain that the military's plan will only hasten Earth's destruction. Once the moon starts moving, no rockets can stop it. The president deliberates while Alex receives news that his children are missing. World leaders convene for a meeting amid widespread panic and distrust of the government. Despite objections, the military's plan proceeds. The president announces Operation Bodyguard to destroy the moon with nuclear warheads, relinquishing national identities for a unified Earth. Lloyd and the children witness the rocket launch and seek shelter in a damaged cafe as their grandfather suffers a heart attack. The rockets detonate on the moon, but unexpected data suggests it's breaking apart, accelerating the collision by 5 days. With the military plan failing, Roland suggests an alternative: harnessing the moon's core by magnetizing it, leveraging Alex's plan. They aim to turn the moon into a colossal magnet. If the dwarf and the moon's core are magnetized, they'll repel each other. When the moon is at its farthest point from Earth, it will push away from the dwarf, eventually falling into the sun's gravity and resuming a normal orbit. However, a special device must be constructed on the moon, and the expedition, originally planned for a month later, needs to be accelerated. A thin nanotechnological wire will be used for magnetization, attached to the rocket and the magnetizing device. The scientists believe the rocket explosions have damaged the moon's structure to its core. Astronauts must analyze resulting canyons and select the most suitable one to descend into. They'll aim the rocket, equipped with the cable and gear, using a prototype space lifter, into the moon's core. Detonating it will activate the bridge, creating the necessary electromagnetic field. The dwarf and the moon's core will then move apart. However, there's a risk the astronauts won't make it back to the lunar module. Immediate action is crucial, and volunteers are urgently needed. The European Space Agency is prepared for the mission but lacks someone familiar with the magnetization device on the moon. The president turns to Alex, the only one who knows how to operate it. Meanwhile, Roland is the expert in lunar geology. Both men are stunned by the sudden responsibility, knowing there's only one chance for their return. With no time to train others, Alex entrusts Roland with finding his children and bids farewell to Maddie. They fly to the European Space Center and meet the cosmonauts Sergi and Courtney, assigned to the lunar module. Martinez catches a news report about the module launch and recognizes Roland. Lloyd and the children find an old receiver and listen to the news. Martina rushes to the Space Center. Lloyd gives the children a photo of their mother, assuring them she'll always be with them and that their father will find them. Sadly, he passes away. Martina learns of the slim chance for Roland's return from the moon and decides to marry him. A passerby takes the children to the city. The lunar module lifts off and Roland finds a suitable location to assemble the equipment. Maddie learns that Alex's children have been found and arranges for them to speak with their father, who bids them farewell. The module lands on the moon and scientists begin assembling the equipment. They have only 6 hours to reach the required location. However, they encounter a setback when they discover a fault in the battery inlet. Replacing it will take at least 5 hours. The military urges them to scan the moon's surface to find the impact coordinates. Roland and Courtney fly to the crevice on a light aircraft, realizing they're running out of time. Despite the impending end of Earth, there's an eerie calm. People spend their final hours fulfilling desires, seeking love, and finding faith. After the battery replacement, the spacecraft starts accelerating unexpectedly due to the wider crevice. Activating the electromagnetic device too soon risks its destruction. With just over an hour left before reaching the checkpoint, the device is prepared, but the spacecraft suddenly loses control and the astronauts vanish from the screens. In the next moment, it's evident they crash onto a stone ledge. Roland tries to save Courtney, who hangs over the abyss, but tragically, she dies. Roland contacts Alex, but faulty equipment prevents him from transmitting coordinates, with only 10 minutes left. Miraculously, Roland manages to activate the device and begins transmitting data. The rocket is launched and flies into the canyon. Sergi suggests rescuing them, but Alex insists on waiting for Roland. However, Roland's module is damaged and he urges his comrades to leave without him. Sergi launches the module and Roland leaves a message on the moon's surface before an explosion occurs. Marty silently weeps at the monitors as everyone gathers outside the center, hoping for Earth's salvation. The crumbling moon is visible, but then the surviving module comes on the air. Alex and Sergi miraculously survive and return to Earth. The president thanks the team, and despite casualties, the world remains intact. People worldwide celebrate a new beginning, ending hostility and embracing self-healing. Perhaps they've been given a second chance. The children and Maddie reunite with Alex at the airport, and in the sky, remnants of the torn satellite are visible, including the movie. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more recaps like these, and comment down below the movie you'd like us to recap.